So just buying some thrift bits to do up a new place, and just to make this unfurnished place a little bit more homey. Just been going to the market and things, and I happened to stumble across this group of young boys as I was sitting waiting just out of the sun, just catch my breath and things. And it's amazing what happens when language isn't like when like English or language isn't the thing that leads an interaction, an energetic exchange with, you know, children are such a high vibration. When you don't need to be understood in language, it's quite a special experience. And like we all went from not knowing each other to then knowing each other slowly, like interacting from a like little playful kind of thing, like I was, you know, just trying to smile and say hi, and then we were trying to figure out who we all were, and I was trying to figure out the dynamic in the little boy gang, seated behind their mums who were cooking. And it was just quite magical. The music was playing, and I love some of the local music, and it was just really good vibes. Obviously, it's always quite intense in a market environment. Everyone's on the hustle, but smiles are shared and good vibes and things. So just was watching these boys. They just took a plastic bottle and they were sort of throwing it to each other and playing one game like that. And then one of them made a sound, or as an animal sound. I think it was a cat. I think we started off with cats, and then that just became the game. Like the way that we could spend time in those moments together was, one of them did a cat sound, so they were like meow, 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 and one was peeping through the there was a motorbike park, so peeping through doing the cat sounds to me. And then the other one was like, we'd say the words they knew, they would say like dog, so we'd be like woof woof, and then elephant, and they would wait for me to see if I knew how to do elephant, and I just went I did this thing, and then horse, and then they were like all laughing at the things that I came out with, and they would do their own version. Some of them are quite specialist at bird whistles and things here, so that's quite nice. They were doing different bird sounds. I think the owl was one of them, crow, and the dove, the pigeon here. And it was just really quite beautiful. It made me laugh. It was all just very genuine and very sweet, you know, just playing, doing all these animal sounds. I don't know where we got to. I think we got to pig or cow. Donkey, we did donkey, and then the other boy, there was a bit of plastic, and so it was, some of the things were, I mean, there's always spirits in the air, but there was some little bits of plastic that were being lifted up by the air. So one of them took it and came over to me, and he didn't know I didn't know Swahili. Obviously some people, some I mean, it's adults more than children, but they see me as different. But he was just speaking to me in Swahili. He was like, all right, take the, and I didn't understand fully, like, you know, take the plastic, pull it and throw it up in the air for me. So we split this little bag, and then I threw it in the air. And I'm not saying I'm an advocate for litter, but this was just the environment that we were in. We were playing, and he was like, took it, and he was very sweet. He had these little Crocs on and was just playing around with his mates. And then, but he really wanted to involve me. It was really sweet. Like, there wasn't any form of division or exclusion. He just really wanted me to, like, and he was saying to the other boy, no, like, let her. And I was just watching and observing all the behaviour. It was really quite special. But I threw this little bit up and it was being carried, and then these two little boys that were sort of separate to the other boy would like catch it, and we'd just have a few little rounds of that. And it's humbling, like, obviously it's day to day, and many benefits to a modern techie things and gadgets, but also the simplicity of like just local games, and here like digging a little hole and like throwing things into it and just using different skills, different like games, really, because that's how I was raised. I'm sort of not in a tech gen. I'm an 80's baby, so we grew up without sort of tech being present. And this is not a judgment for any generation, this is just an observation as an 80's baby, as I recall making things up and playing around with direction, without direction. And I guess some of the mamas thought these little boys were like putting them in line because they were getting a bit boisterous. But I just saw this incredible little energy between them. It was, they looked after each other, they like shared and fed water together, and there was just so much love. And they happened to share that with me that day in the market, and just felt so safe and emotionally safe and playful and real and healthy, mentally healthy. And everyone will take their own interpretations or observations from these interactions, but I guess that's just how one knows whether you can be in a place long term or not, is the day-to-day interactions of the youth, the small ones, the youth and the elders. And whether I put it out before this one or not, this video, is I talked about belonging recently, and I'm generally emotional at this time of year anyway. December, Christmas is, you know, it brings a lot up for many people. But I think the idea of belonging is how you observe the lived environment around you, and if that helps you maintain your peace and integrity and respect and love of nature. And I'm just watching a fishing boat come in, and all these birds are trying to pick up things from the nets, I can see. Sorry. And I think belonging comes from, I'm not going to be welcomed by everybody. I know the history, I know the past, but I can only be true to myself and act in love and go where I'm called. And if other people don't believe in a calling, don't feel that I'm entitled to live in a different place from where I'm born, you know, I can't speak for those people. I can only try to make my lived environment like safe for myself, safe for those who I interact with, and share and spread love and do what I need to do to fulfill my purpose and my calling. So yes, it could be reflective moments for many of us in this December time, end of year, and children just are very humbling. They say it like it is. They tell you what either you do or you don't want to hear sometimes, and it's important that we know, that we're conscious of who we surround ourselves with now, you know, who we spend time with or who we allow into our auric and vibrational field, because of the sensitivities that are going to keep on growing. And as psychic telepathic beings, for me that was like a battery recharge. I just felt like my inner child, she was just so happy. It was so cute and just sweet, tender, sweet interactions between me and these children, and I felt very privileged, to be honest. So don't really know what else to say other than that. I share this when I share this, and here to honour the small moments of play and love among life's challenges, and share a little bit of love with people. 999.